50 years ago, it seemed like almost everybody had a plan to change something, particularly things that were done by nature. It was only a matter of time before somebody would turn their attention to our own body. Our internal body is ancient. It hasn't changed since modern man walked out of Africa and began to populate the world. Around 50 years ago, a very unacceptable thing was allowed to happen. It became acceptable to allow kids to eat processed cereals for breakfast. The decision was largely based on the convenience to housewives. No research, tests or trials were ever done to gauge if these foods were safe for anybody. The excuse was to give housewives an easier, cheaper way to cope with breakfast. This was the first instance where the food industry were allowed to produce and sell manufactured, processed breakfast cereals to children. Till then, these were products not to be confused with food, and our body had never processed fake foods before. Nobody questioned the wisdom of giving permission that allowed an industry to pollute our digestive system. It was simply part of a commercial promotion that applauded this concession to the busy, hard-working housewives. But the industry soon tired of that limitation. They were itching to start their big plans to take over all our meals. They were even planning in between meals to cover every possible angle. But there was one thing that brought them to a stop: our basic instinct, intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is one of our basic instincts. It's an automated system that works between our body and ourselves. It kept us slim and healthy for generations. It was a system that guided us to the right foods, and we responded by intuitively eating the right food our body needed. This left a very frustrated industry waiting on the sidelines for any opportunity to break intuitive eating. They had to find a way to put an end to intuitive eating before they could even begin to offer their vast range of processed foods. Their plan was to turn their food into the right food and thereby take over the food market. But everything has its price. Unfortunately, it's rarely the people who create the mess that end up paying for it. We've been paying for the loss of intuitive eating for 50 years. The price has been an obesity epidemic, diabetes type 2, and many minor diseases. If we start eating the right food, our body stops adding body fat. But we can't. We're hooked on the wrong food. We're addicted to it and we are unable to let go out of fear. The right food kept us slim and healthy for centuries. It was a natural system that worked from within our body. It relied on one of our basic instincts, intuitive eating. It managed and controlled our weight naturally. We did not get food cravings, we did not binge eat, and we did not get fat. That was nature's way, and it's time we get back to that.